Welcome, Internet, to Podcast Equipped, episode number 5. As you know, we're a gaming podcast that comes equipped every week with a bag full of topics and discusses them for your listening pleasure. As always, I'm your host, Miguel Zarate. Alongside with me, my best friend.
John Valencia, what's up, people?
How's it going, John? How's your week going?
It's been okay, I guess.
It's been 1 week since you look at me.
Oh,
Copyright infringement's
it's
coming. Anyways, no. Uh, but we're not doing our normal shtick this week, John, as you may know. But they don't know.
They don't know. They don't know
This
anything.
this week we shall be doing a countdown list for you on this podcast. We'll be counting down our favorite soundtracks. Now this is the way it's going to work. John and I have chosen our top 5 favorite soundtracks, and I'm going to take turns going down our list.
We're gonna take turns. Not I'm
Yes,
gonna take turns.
I'm going to take turns with myself because I'm that important. I'm the host of Podcast Equipped, goddammit.
You should
You know what
show
that
me some a
means?
little bit of respect around here.
Yeah, I can go anywhere I want and be like, you know who I am? I'm the host of Podcast Equipped. Forget all those other podcasts you hear about.
Oh
What
God.
the comedy button ain't got shit on me. I'm just joking. Podcast
Damn.
Beyond ain't got shit on me. Kinda funny ain't got shit on me.
Oh shit! Shots
I'm just-
fired. Shots have been fired.
No, but seriously. But anyways, we'll just be dropping a little bit of news on you this week. One thing I wanted to discuss before we go into our list, John. Big news hit this week.
Yeah. What is?
Big game that big game that was supposed to hit this year.
Oh,
Uncharted 4 has been officially delayed,
that hurts me so much.
doesn't it?
Yes.
I mean, think about it this way. I was reading something, and we could have had Halo
Mm-hmm.
versus Legend of Zelda
And then
versus Uncharted.
But
It would have been like the triple threat match of the century.
which one gets more units sold?
Well, I think Halo would have sold more units regardless, because Halo is a franchise that goes along that even casual gamers go and buy every year.
I bought like 3 games. I got one free though.
But it would have been fun, not to start a fanboy war or anything, but it would have been awesome if each of the companies were releasing their top game
Sellers.
this year. Yeah, it would have been interesting to
The-
say the least.
The war of the first parties.
Yeah, it would have been fun. It would have been fun, and everybody would have won because we as gamers love video games. And I'm excited about 2 of those 3. As we've discussed before, I'm not big on FPSs, so Halo is not up my alley. Plus, I don't even really like sci-fi, so it's not a good mix for me. But having an open world Legend of Zelda and playing an Uncharted this year would have been awesome.
Yeah, like especially with the new Zelda looking freaking a huge world where you
Bigger.
get to look at everything.
That's gonna be fun. It'll be, like I said, a Skyrim Zelda. I think that's what we all wanted. We're all finally getting that, hopefully.
Mhm. I wonder if
But
they
no,
I wonder if
sorry.
they what's it called? I wonder if they did put the NCP for Robin Williams on there. They
I,
named one
bel
of them.
I have a feeling they did. I think it'll be one of the first people you meet. It'll be like in the first city,
Mhm.
a jester maybe of some sort. Hope
Oh,
I know
that'd be awesome.
I know him and his daughter Zelda were featured in commercials, and they wanted to discuss it with their family to make sure that it was okay first. So I think the family would give permission, but we'll see if they did that or not.
Yeah. I hope they did.
So another question that I have also then, what's going to be PlayStation's big game for this winter?
This winter. Wait,
It's hard to say.
is Until Dawn? What's it called?
No, that's
Slated for-
summer.
Okay.
That's summer.
Damn.
So they have 2 big games coming out in the spring, which obviously one came out already, The Order 1886, which as we already talked about didn't do
No.
as well as they hoped.
No, we still have what's it called for spring?
Bloodborne.
yeah.
Bloodborne.
There you go.
And then as far as exclusives go, I think I know they have MLB The Show, but that's also on PS3 and Vita. So
I'm actually shoot. I'm trying to think now.
I mean, may have a couple, but that are unconfirmed that have no release dates that may end up coming out this year, such as Rhyme,
Mhm.
which looks cool, which looks like a Shadow of the Shadow. Sorry,
Shadow of
Eco. no, I was gonna say Shadow of Eco. It was, but I meant to say was Eco mixed with like a little bit of Wind Waker.
Oh, I know. Oh, okay. Now I know what you're talking
That
about.
looks awesome. Everybody's Gone as a Rapture, which I know nothing about, but apparently it demos well amongst people in the industry. I just read their
Wait,
articles.
is that
Everybody says that game looks really cool.
that's the side scroller one, right?
No,
No, which one's the side
no.
scroller one I'm thinking of then?
What are you thinking of?
I'm thinking of
What?
the. Do you remember seeing it? It was that one. I think it was displayed at E3, where it's like you play as this little kid. You're going through like this world of going through this factory or something.
Oh my God, no, John. Oh, I'm disappointed in you, John. That's an Xbox One exclusive.
Oh god damn it!
Wait,
Sure.
was it?
I
I'm
was like,
sure
are
it
you
was.
sure?
I'm pretty sure.
I'm
I'm
gonna.
almost sure. Oh yeah, because it was the people who made. I want to say Limbo.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a. Wait, maybe it was. I'm not sure.
Either way, it's probably coming to PC, so I'll play it on that.
But yes, but anyways, they got Until Dawn.
Got Until Dawn.
Got Persona. Persona 5's coming this year.
Yeah.
But that's also on PS3 though.
Mhm.
But other players can't play it.
What about No Man's Sky?
No Man's Sky, will that come out this year? That's a big question. That game's very ambitious and very big.
Yeah.
Could they be done with it already? Who knows? I feel like we've been talking about it for years already. But it's
Yeah.
probably only been like 2 years.
Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe that game comes out this year. That could be a system seller. I mean, not system seller, but that could be a big seller.
Mhm.
But will it be on PC at the same time?
Ooh.
Who knows? Unless they got a contract locked up for what's it called, a timed exclusive. I don't believe it'll be an exclusive, but it'll be a timed exclusive. Maybe.
Maybe.
Hmm.
I'm trying to think now. I'm trying to go back to what's it called. What could be a heavy hitter for them?
Well, see, there may be something unannounced that is coming out because I think we've discussed this before. A lot of the studios haven't been saying much at all.
Yeah.
So possibly there could be some games that we don't know about coming out this winter. Siphon Filter, maybe.
The Last Guardian.
The Last Guardian. That's right. That'll be their big winter release.
That's their big winter release where it what's it called all this boost PlayStation sales by tenfold.
Yeah, right. I don't even if that game would come out, I don't think it would sell as well as we would like to believe it would. I don't know. There's some other games I was thinking of. Wild. You remember that one?
Oh yeah, I remember that one. That one looked
That
pretty
one
good one.
It looks really cool. You can play as anything, any creature that's alive.
Mhm.
But that's more of an indie niche title. I don't think the point is they don't have any big
AAA.
like they have some AAA games coming out, but they don't have any big like games that could capture the market. Like Uncharted, everybody compares it to Indiana Jones of video gaming,
It is.
right? So it's like that, and that would sell to casual fans, and it looked awesome in it. That awesome PSX
Damn.
showing was fucking amazing.
Oh, there's so much you could do now in that game. So much
Exactly
more.
it. So I don't know what we got, but I think they'll be fine. Bloodborne will be great. I have no doubt about that.
Mhm.
Studio Japan is great, and so is From Software. The show is great every year. I'm not really big on sports games, but apparently people that play sports games really love that game, and that's an exclusive. Like the
To PlayStation.
Xbox can't touch the MLB franchises. So, Until Dawn, as we said, Knack 2.
What? I was like, what?
Just joking. Knack 2, lock of the week, John.
I was about to say, it's like, when did that get announced?
Nah, but yeah, I don't know. There'll be something though. Hopefully they'll come up with something. They'll announce something from E3 or Gamescom that'll be their big game.
I assume they put in for vacation for E3.
Ooh, yes we do, John. I have a feeling we'll be busy that week making content for these lovely people who are now subscribed or will subscribe to Equip Gaming.
Yes. And then, oh, that's gonna be amazing. I just want another, what's it called, jump out of the seat moment with like they did with Kingdom Hearts 3.
Maybe we'll get one of those. Maybe they'll revive a franchise that we love, or maybe
Dark Cloud 3.
I have a feeling they have a plan. Like people have been predicting that Uncharted would be delayed.
Greg called it first.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't doubt it either because Naughty Dog has done this before. Like we've talked about
With
before,
Last of Us.
Last of Us was delayed 6 months, and Naughty Dog have said if they didn't have those 6 months, the game would not have been as awesome as it was, as amazing as it was. So,
They're doing
I
it for
mean,
the better for the quality of it.
exactly. I mean, but with the last year of gaming, do you feel like, are you tired of delays, John?
No, not really tired of it. It's just more like once a game gets announced, that's gonna be that's gonna be like okay, you should expect like 2 or 3 more delays before that game release date.
Yeah, it's really starting to be like that, but I trust Naughty Dog. Naughty Dog has never released a bad game.
Mm-hmm.
So this is not like a Drive Club situation where a year from now we'll still be talking about where's Uncharted?
It was
Is it
Uncharted
gonna
4.
work? Why isn't Uncharted working yet? Because you got to remember that game also will have multiplayer.
Oh yes, the multiplayer is amazing.
So
Have you tried multiplayer on Uncharted yet?
I have not.
Ah, you need
As
to.
you know, I'm a single player game man. You know that.
How are you gonna platinum the games? You can platinum
I
the first
won't.
one.
I won't. I love me some trophies, but I don't know. I don't want to go online and play for them. I hate online multiplayer trophies. Hate them with a passion.
Okay,
Of
Colin.
Christ.
Okay, Colin.
I'm not calling. Anyways, so I just wanted to touch on that a little bit. Hopefully Sony has a plan. I think they do. I think we'll get Siphon Filter, Last Guardian, or something of that sort coming this winter, or a new IP maybe. But
Oh,
I have no doubt in my mind that they have a plan.
Silent Hills. I'm just kidding.
Ooh, I doubt it.
No, that's still
But
Norman Reedus even tweeted out saying that they're barely recording like the heavy script stuff, the heavy stuff for the
really,
script.
aw man, so that game's probably a way off.
Yeah,
And I wonder if that's gonna be a PS4 exclusive.
it better. Well, PT was PS4 exclusive, so I wouldn't see why not.
Oh, I forgot an actual exclusive that I'm renting, but it's also a niche title though. Once again,
Which one?
Disgaea 5,
Oh yeah.
PS4 exclusive.
God, at least so many hours in that game.
I know,
Fucking
but
Iron Man.
yes, that I just wanted to touch on that because that seemed like really big news. I know we said we're gonna do the countdown list, and we're gonna get to that right now.
Oh, okay.
So
So number
John,
1. I'm just kidding.
so John, my number 5.
Oh God, I'm so scared about your number
So
5.
anyways, as we're gonna remind you, just in case you weren't paying attention to this whole time, me and John are gonna start counting down our top 5 favorite soundtracks. Now the way this is gonna work, we include the whole series, not just one single game.
Could that be
So yes,
too impossible to do?
and these are our personal favorites, not games that we think are the actual best, because that's for a different list for a different time, right? Do you agree, John? These are our personal favorites.
Yes.
I wouldn't call some of these my number 3, which is still gonna be my number 3 is out of left field. Most people are gonna be like, "What? I've never even heard of that franchise." Anyways, my number 1, and for
Wait,
this one,
Are you going from
I
1
mean,
to
sorry,
5?
my number 5. I'm sorry,
Okay, there you go.
on my list, my personal list, is Sonic the Hedgehog
Okay, good.
series.
It wasn't mine.
Yes, John and I did not even discuss what our lists were. But no, Sonic the Hedgehog. Man, I'm probably not alone on this list, but I'm referring mostly to the first 3 games in the series, even Spinball,
Spinball.
and Sonic Adventures.
Well, I was about to say if you
The
didn't
first Sonic Adventures had an amazing. That's where the soundtrack changes, like a rocking soundtrack.
yeah.
I remember just going down listening to that Japanese rock, going down the street in my little as the hedgehog. Oh my god. No, but mostly the first and the second one, I would say.
What about
I would,
3? Michael Jackson helped.
yeah, exactly. I was gonna mention that later, jerk. That yes, it's still rumored to this day that Michael Jackson produced the soundtrack for Sonic 3, which is weird because they said he took away his credit. Like he didn't want to be associated with it anymore. I wonder why. There has to be a good story behind that.
I thought it was because he didn't like the sound that the Genesis was giving out for the music. That's why he didn't
It's
want
also
nothing on it.
It was also rumored that because at the same time that's when one of his first allegations came up, and that Sonic Team may have been the one to break off the partnership.
Oh, damn,
But I
didn't hear about that one.
I heard about that one. You gotta read, John. Look for all the options out there.
Everything.
No, but well, I don't know how to explain. The soundtrack is just so bumping for me. It's just so lively and upbeat. Normally, I'm not into that kind of thing,
Hmm.
but it's just like I can listen to that. I would go to the BGM
Just
and
listen to everything.
listen to that music over and over. Especially if you played the second and the first one, you'd always go to the last BGM, and it would be like a mixture of the whole soundtrack together, combined into one.
Like a
And
mega mix.
and this is a completely nostalgia choice. Like, honestly, I would not even probably even consider this if Sonic wasn't the first one of the first games I remember playing. And I could like tell you the soundtrack of especially the second one, front and back. I know every song in that catalog, and they'll just play in my head, and I'll just be like, do 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 do, you know, just listen to it
Go to
over it.
go to
Sorry.
Hilltop Zone. Go to Hill.
Exactly. And just it just associates those memories of being a kid and playing Sonic, which was the fastest game you've ever played, and the soundtrack matched that.
Hmm.
And it's not that great, even to me. Like I'll listen to it and be like, okay, this isn't that great, but it brings back too many memories for me not to include it on my top five. And I battled for putting a lot of different games on this list, and this one almost got knocked off, but I couldn't defeat my own nostalgia, unfortunately.
Uh,
So on to you, John.
okay, so my number five. I don't know. My top five list is like very modern.
Well, it's fine.
Okay, but my top five was Freedom Wars.
Ooh, that's one I wouldn't even consider. That's weird. It's a weird choice, John.
No, because that's like I actually go through like you know how they give you the options to choose like the music for.
Yeah.
I actually go through it and like listen to each one. It's like okay, this one would be a good one to battle through it. Let's go to this one for this battle. But like I just like
See,
the futuristic techno industrialness to it, like the feel to it.
I agree with that. That's something I did with one that almost knocked my number five off. Dynasty Warriors, where you could
Ooh,
go select the. I almost put Dynasty Warriors on my list because I love that rockin' soundtrack. And so I know what you're talking about when you're talking about choosing which music you want to fight to.
yeah, yeah. I see, but like that's what I was going through, and then I actually had a hard time trying to find most of the soundtrack on YouTube, so I can like listen to it again instead of going turning on my Vita to like go through it like that. But like I said, like I just liked the industrial futuristic techno beats that they have to it, and some of it when you're playing is like really upbeat and kind of like get you into the mood. Like okay, we're going to fight.
Yeah, I also love Freedom Wars, and so I know that what you're talking about. Like the music fit perfectly what you're trying to do. And that's what a game is supposed to do. It doesn't have to be great. It just has to match what they want you to feel.
Hmm.
And I think I agree with you that Freedom Wars is one of those games that has good music to back it. I wouldn't call it the best, and I probably wouldn't even put it in my top 10 to be honest with you. But it's your personal choice.
Yeah, see, I kept switching out Freedom Wars like with like two other games, but then I was like, no, I'm gonna go back to Freedom Wars, just for the sheer fact that it's kind of it has like industrial techno to it, and that's what I've been listening to for a while now.
I like those cutscenes where you remember the cutscenes where everything's being destroyed
No, yeah,
by
the
oh sorry, spoilers.
the what's it called the what the hell is it called? Um, try
And
to
the music's just like dun, 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 dun. It's just
yeah.
like I don't know.
What is it called? It's the Rapture.
The Rapture. There you go. Damn, that sounds so scary.
Is it Rapture? Yeah, pretty sure.
Everybody's gone to the Rapture confirmed for 2014 really 2016 fun release
15.
2015 release.
What
Okay,
year are you in, Miguel?
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Anyways, are you done talking about Freedom Wars, John? So I can move on
Yes. Let's move
to
on.
number 4 on my list.
Oh
This is
shit.
also a recent one, and one that it's really recent.
Hmm?
Hotline Miami.
Oh snap.
I don't know if you've ever had the pleasure of playing these games, John,
No, I
but the
but
soundtracks is just amazing. It's built from there's not one composer for this soundtrack.
there isn't. I thought there was.
It's like a mixture of like indie artists. Like it has a lot of techno influence to it, but it also has like a lot of 80s influence to it. And I would just put on my headphones and play Hotline Miami. I was just doing it last night. As you know, Hotline Miami 2 came out this week.
Hmm.
And And I was playing Hotline Miami 2, which is a little based in more in the early 90s, so it's a little bit of different sound. But these are games you just get lost in. You put in your headphones and you just listen to the music, and it's like listening to real music. Like, okay, these are all real music, but you know what I mean? It's like something you wouldn't even probably put in a game normally, but it fits the aesthetic so perfectly of you're this killer who's going around killing everybody, and you're in the 80s and 90s. Of course, you're going to be listening to like this little techno-y music from that era. I don't know. It just fits it perfectly. I don't know how to explain it.
I mean,
It's like,
I get like the gist of like what you're getting at with that though.
yeah, it's like this. And normally I'm not really into techno music or house music or whatever you want to call it, but this soundtrack just jives with me so much, and it really harkens me back to my number one pick, which I won't say, but you know what it is, and it kind of reminds me of that. It reminds me of listening to that techno music while beating people up, while killing people, it really, I think that's what it really is. But it's a really good soundtrack, and it even if you're not a video game lover, I would suggest the soundtrack up and down to you. You don't even be listening to that. You don't even be playing a game to listen to it. It's just really good. Has a lot of good tracks that fit mood perfectly and put you in the mood to kill somebody.
Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Now we know. Now we know, guys. Don't let me go listen to the Hotline Miami soundtrack in real life.
Oh, so good. I think you would appreciate it, John. Actually, I implore you after we're done recording this to go listen to it
Oh,
and give.
I have to edit.
Well, you know what I mean.
I have all day tomorrow to do it.
Yeah. Anyways, on John, onward, John.
All right. So what I chose for if I can talk today, if what I chose for my number 4 is the Uncharted series soundtrack.
Ooh, that was almost one of my number 5. That was almost my number 5, John.
Oh, see, that's what I was afraid of when you said that. When you were explaining some of your lists, it's like, oh crap, I have 2 that you might have.
Yes, I was really close to also putting the Uncharted series on my list.
And the reason why I chose it, because especially with Nate's theme, it's so
Do, 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 do. It's iconic at this point.
Like, it's so freaking, it's epic. It has the brass thing to get you like motivated that you're going to be on this epic adventure or going to start the epic adventure if you guys haven't played the first game yet. Like, like even with like as you go into more and more in it, it's just very adventurous, makes you want to keep playing the game more. Like for me, like the soundtrack kind of hooked me to the series too as well. To get to the Uncharted series because of the epicness.
I alluded to it earlier. It's like watching a great movie. It's like watching the Indiana Jones films.
Yes.
You hear the music. I mean, it's an afterthought kind of because you're into the action, but you go back and you watch it or play it a second time, and you just notice that the music is just so pumping. If you haven't played the Uncharted games, if you're seen by somebody, the music will start playing like doom, 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 doom. And then as soon as you like go back into hiding, the music will like slow down again.
Like it started to slowly fade away.
Yeah. So I know what you're talking about, and like I said, Uncharted is PlayStation's Indiana Jones, and it has a soundtrack to back it up.
So what I'm kind of sad is like I just read this right now, is that the Greg Edmondson, the guy who like did the music for all 3, isn't coming back for the 4th one.
Really?
Yeah, he's not.
That kind of sucks, but it's always good to get a fresh sound sometimes. I mean, it may not be as good, it may be better, who knows?
They're gonna make it into a techno pop.
Oh God, that would be awful.
But
now I have faith in Bruce. What is it? I forgot their name. Bruce Staley and I can't remember the other guy. The guys who did The Last of Us.
Oh, what was his name?
It's Bruce Staley
Gustavo Stallana.
No. I'm talking about the guy who is making the games.
The games. I thought you were talking about composers.
No. They'll definitely be able to make the music equal. They know what goes into making a good game, and I have no doubt that
they'll find a good, new, pretty decent composer.
Yeah. All right. On to my number 3, and this one, like I said, John, is from left field, and it was hard for me I kind of even forgot about this game, but then I remembered it. Like, I was looking through YouTube, and I saw one track from it, and it reminded me. I'm like, holy crap! How could I forget about? I spent hours playing this game, and there's not a lot of action in this particular series. So all I really do is listen to music the whole time.
Oh my god, I think I know what game this is now.
What game is it,
Is
John?
it Romance of the Three Kingdoms?
It is Romance of the Three Kingdoms.
Oh snap!
So this is a personal favorite of mine, as that John knows, and you guys should know. I am a huge fan of the Three Kingdoms period of Chinese history. I've read books about it. I've watched shows, and of course, I've played the series that is very obscure at this point, and I don't know if it'll ever come back, unfortunately. But it's just your regular civilization kind of. You build a empire simulator, and you build armies, and you go fight. It's like Rome Total Conquest and stuff like that. And so all I would do is play these games for hours. Sometimes I'd fall asleep playing them, but I play for like 8 hours straight, building my officers, building my empire, and there would always be this ancient Chinese soundtrack to it, set to it, and I would be listening to, like, if you're in a town where there's lots of leaves, the music would play perfectly. There'd be like I can't even think of the music or what the instrument's called.
Oh crap! I know what you're
Like
talking
it's
about.
like a harp kind of thing, and you just hear like that just being gently strummed. Or if I go to a bustling city, there'd be like this nice flute, like a lot of like a whole chorus, not a chorus, a whole band like playing a flute section, just do 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 do. I don't know how to explain it, but there'd always be like this ancient Chinese music, like mixed with today's kind of genre, like of big bands. And the battles, there would always be like this epic music playing, boom boom, like just hardcore, and like you'd hear when you're hearing the swords clash, like they'd add extra little boop boop,
I,
or when the officer is defeated, it's all sad. And when you get married, I don't know. This is a hard series to explain because I couldn't even find any of those soundtracks on YouTube, and I couldn't find out who the composer was.
composure.
Composer? No, I need to keep my composure. No.
You're going off topic here, Miguel. Control yourself.
Okay. Dynasty Warriors reference. Okay, you're on to your number 3, John.
My number 3 is Bravely Default.
Another new game, John. You love these new games.
I know they have such epic soundtracks, especially this one. It's like it has like such a Renaissance like feel to it when you
Yep.
play it.
Probably like an old Final Fantasy game.
Yeah, especially like I was actually going back and listening to the battle. Like once it started up, I was like, oh my god, this sounds like a retro Final Fantasy VII setup kind of like song. But like I said, like with the music itself is like it get especially during the battle it gets you pumped up for like okay we're gonna fight these monsters again and again and again. Like I never got tired, especially when I played it for like those 100 or some hours. Like I never got tired of the soundtrack.
That's a good thing. See, that's a hard thing about RPGs is you can't. Hopefully, it doesn't have annoying music. 'Cause you're gonna be listening to it a lot.
Yeah, like especially like with the battle sequence, like it just pumps you up. Like if I could play it on the damn podcast, it would have been amazing. But like go ask yourself if you guys have not played it Bravely Default. Just listen to the soundtrack. Look how epic it is. How like especially during the boss battles, like, you can tell which songs were dedicated to battles just on how pumped up you get, how epic it sounds, how fast paced it is, just for the battle alone.
Man, I haven't played Bravely Default, but I can't really comment on it.
Uh,
But I know it's like an old school RPG that people love. JRPG, should I say? Sorry. That it captures all the feelings of an old JRPG. So I can imagine that the soundtrack is probably amazing because I miss having those days where we'd always get a great RPG every year with a great soundtrack.
now it's kind of hard to find. You get like a decent soundtrack with most of the RPGs nowadays.
Which brings me to my number 2.
Oh snap!
This is going to become as no shocker. I feel like if you line up, normally it'd be number 1 in most circles, but my personal favorite is a little bit different. But I feel like if you got 10, say 10 gamers, maybe around between the age of 21 and 20, or it won't even go 30. If you got any gamer between 21 and 30, I feel like this be at least on like say maybe half or three, at least a quarter of them would answer that this is probably one of the best soundtracks of all time. And see, I'm not just saying, or as a series has some of the best soundtracks. And of course, I'm talking about the Final Fantasy series.
Ooh, I like that series.
Everybody loves. I'm just joking. Nobody loves it
I
anymore.
was like,
They killed it.
I,
Nobody wants your Final Fantasy 13 Square Enix. Get over it.
you chose the most boringest character to make a trilogy out of.
But that's off topic, John. No, Nobuo Uematsu, who I have all pretty much listened to all of his soundtracks before, at least on the Final Fantasy series. He's been the common one. Unfortunately, he's not with Square anymore, but he produced the first 9 games of the numbered, at least the numbered Final Fantasy
No, he
series.
went up to 10.
Oh, you're right. He did do 10. He did no. He did parts of 10. He didn't do 10 by himself, but he produced the first 9 by himself.
And then got help with 10.
Yes. But this music is just classic. This is what got me into classical music. This is what got me into rock music. This is just the music of my childhood. I remember playing Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy VIII, Final Fantasy IX, and Tactics, who has also done, because even the spin-offs had great soundtracks. Tactics was done by a man named Hitoshi Sakamoto, and I don't know, even that had a really awesome soundtrack that fit the aesthetic of a tactics game, of a 2D game that didn't have this big feel like Final Fantasy VII or something like Final Fantasy VII would.
Mm.
And I've since gone back and played 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1, and I could appreciate their soundtracks too, especially number 6. Number 6, and that was like where they first introduced like each character having their own theme.
Is it?
Yeah, and it's just always been that's so awesome that each character has their own personality, has their own theme. That makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I wish every game did that. I mean, no, some games do that, but every character in Final Fantasy
had one.
had their own theme, and it'd be recognizable. You know what I mean?
Yeah, even the
At,
antagonists.
yes, and it's just like you have this perfect mixture of not 8-bit music, but all like orchestra, and all of it just combines to make a perfect soundtrack. And I don't even think I need to explain what makes this soundtrack great. I wish I could. You're right. It's really hard to explain like what makes this really great without having to like put the music out in front of somebody and be like, just listen to this.
Yeah.
Like listen to the music when Aerith died.
Oh my
It
god.
fit it perfectly. Like you wanted to
Oh,
cry.
that's so sad. That's like I
That
hated
music
that
will
part.
bring tears to my eyes. Or listen to like the music from like when you go to Squall to Laguna, and hear the differences in those soundtracks from these two completely different protagonists that you play as. Or number 9, where they went back to the roots, and you just hear like this old timey Final Fantasy soundtrack that sounds like number 5, but it's number 9, and it made full circle. Or number 10 even,
Oh, 10. I
when
think 10 is like, if I had to like do it, like 7 would be one, but 10 is like probably the second one out of the whole all the soundtracks that's gonna be on a list for Final Fantasy.
yeah, it's just amazing how long they've been able to keep up all the good music for this soundtrack
And especially,
for these.
I'm like especially with 10 because they actually did like techno pop with it, with like synthesizers into it.
Yeah, it's different. They always did that, and they've done that with 8, and they've done for each aesthetic. I feel like they matched it perfectly from 7 to them being sorry, all living in this not dystopian future where the world's being eaten up, to 8 where there are a bunch of like students at this school, and it captures like their youth of that,
Mm.
to 9 where, like I said, they're in this back in this fantasy world, and it's just really good. I don't know what else to say about it. Like, just go listen to the soundtracks. You can listen to them by yourself. If you're a student who's studying or something, just listen to them.
I used to
I
do
know
that a lot.
yeah, I know I used to do my homework while listening to some of those soundtracks. So there you go. The Final Fantasy series, number 2. And for you, John, you're number 2.
My number 2 is the Persona series soundtracks.
Oh yeah.
I think this is like probably the only one on my list that actually involves a lot of vocals, lyrics into it.
You're right. Like I didn't even think about that.
Like especially like when you're exploring the town, you have lyrics playing in the background. Like P4, you have like depending on like the weather, you have like either your affection playing on a sunny day or heartbeat, heartbreak playing on a cloudy day, or like think P3 from what I remembered from it is you only have one set song when you're walking around everywhere.
Hmm. So this it has like kind of a different soundtrack to it. Like number three, if I recall, I've only played number three a little bit. It has like more of a jazzy soundtrack. I want to say,
Like
or am I
it's like
wrong?
a yeah, it's kind of like jazzy and then it has like a rap background to it as well.
Oh, that's pretty sick.
Yeah,
And number
especially with like the battles. I was like the battle system for 3 is like I would purposely go find a battle just so I can just hear the damn song again because that
yeah,
song is really amazing.
I found myself doing that. Like I wanted to catch in Persona 4, I wanted to catch them in the back so I could hear "Reach Out to the Truth."
Yeah,
Or is it? Is
yeah.
that
Let's
the
reach out
one?
for the truth.
Now I'm face up,
I
I'm
found
home.
out.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
reach out for the
yeah. I found myself going just to try to sneak it behind them just so I could hear that damn song because I actually like that one better than
time to make history.
yeah, Time to Make History.
Yeah. Then, but also like
Yeah.
what I like with it too is that the boss battles like they were serious because they didn't have no lyrics to it. It was just
Mhm.
all instrumental. Like even
Which is a change, right? Like
yeah,
it's weird. Like all the other ones have lyrics, and it's like this one.
it's like it wants to be. It's they switched it pretty much from like an actual like a typical JRPG. Like you play a battle thing, it's just gonna be instrumental. You get to a boss, it's gonna be heavy instrumental. Some like minor to like minor lyrics to like pretty much a lot of lyrics into a boss battle. But they switched it where like it's gonna be a serious battle because it's just pretty epic when you're doing the boss fight.
Mm, I hear you. Yeah, and like I liked how they always switch. Like if you fight if you go to different worlds, like they would always catch the aesthetic of that one,
Yeah,
of that world at least. Like you'd be up in the sky one world, you'd be up in
in a strip
the game
club.
world, the strip club. I don't know what she was saying that whole time. I just remember somebody going ah at me this every other second.
What I'm trying to think of how that one is like. I like or something's myself. Oh, I can't remember what she said. Because
I
I just
agree with
remember I
that.
was just stuck in that dungeon for like the longest time because I was still low level and I was playing on very hard. And that's all I kept hearing was ooh, I like the something something ah.
Number five, I remember is gonna have like this jazzy soundtrack.
Yeah, I actually listened to 5 like not that long ago when because they already have the soundtrack on YouTube. I don't know how the hell
What?
I
What?
I don't know how the hell they got it on YouTube already, but
Is that real? Is that real?
it sounds like a legitimate Persona soundtrack. That's why I said like it has. I heard it has like it sounds like it has heavy influence with jazz still into it.
Ooh, interesting. I need to go look that up right now.
You should.
Anyways, on to my number one, John. And I've alluded it to before on this podcast, and I will say it forever. Streets of Rage as a series, as a whole, has one of the best soundtracks that was before its time.
Yes,
That doesn't get enough love.
you can put that thing in the damn strip club, and I'm not strip club.
Maybe you could.
Maybe with damn Ash's theme. I could see you could probably strip.
That sounds kind of annoying.
But
But no.
I see what you
Sorry.
could like put the soundtrack into like a damn club, and nobody probably tell the difference.
Like if you put it in like the right club, like a right techno-y club,
Yeah,
I'm sure some people would recognize it immediately because that thing was really popular back in the early '90s for its soundtrack. No, but this soundtrack is just which is weird for me that I'm saying my favorite soundtrack is the techno soundtrack, but pretty much it's the full series is techno-y. It has some jazz influences, like if you go to level 1 2, which I would, well, they
oh
don't
the bar.
actually have levels on there, but the bar scene like has very jazz influence. You can just hear it, and the fact that the Sega Genesis was making this is still baffling to me today because I still listen to those soundtracks every day and just hear it. number three kind of got number three got very experimental,
Hmm.
but I still love that soundtrack. Like, go listen to that soundtrack. It has very weird
No,
music.
see, I like the club mix on number three. The club.
The dude, yeah, it's like that's what I mean. It's like you would never hear that in a video game before Streets of Rage, and that thing was very
Like,
influential. Of course, Yuzo Koshiro is the man who did this, and to this day, he still is known and still asks questions about his Street of Rage music.
damn.
And even like I'll throw a remake out there.
Oh,
They took what Yuzo Koshiro did and took it and put a modern spin on it, and it sounds amazing.
yeah. Like it's like I'll listen to that when I'm at work sometimes. Like I'll put in like I go straight and be like, oh my god.
That's what I mean. Even like I would put those on. Like if I was like gonna have a party at my house or something, I'd put that on, and I bet you there'd be somebody who'd be like, "Oh man, this is pretty awesome. Who is this?" And I'd be like, this is from a video game from the 19 early 19 the early 1920s, the
Wow.
early 1990s. No, it's just that, and once again, nostalgia brought me here too. Also, Street Rage is the first game I remember playing. So that means I've known this music for my whole life, and it's always been there for me. And I like same thing. I would go listen to that soundtrack, go every day, just listen to it. I'd be a kid just wanting to hear that music and go to the BGM things and just play it, play it, play it, play it, play it.
I know,
And that's
especially with the
it's just
opening.
so yes, it's the music for it. Like I feel like the music tells more of a story than the actual story tells the story.
Yeah.
Like you would when you go face Mr. X and that piano hits.
Oh my god.
Doon, 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 doon. Like you know some shit's about to break down.
Yeah.
And then when he starts shooting his guards and you hear the like a heartbeat going off.
Yeah.
Sorry for your ears, people. But yes, Streets of Rage, number one, no doubt in my mind. Even with number three being the weird soundtrack it's still really good if you go back and listen to it. It's weird, but it's way beyond what anybody else was doing at the time.
Yeah.
At least in video game music.
Yeah. You pushed the Genesis stuff like to the limit on that one.
Yeah, it really did. The fact that a Genesis is making all that noise is just boggles my mind. Like you go back and listen to Mario, that has a great
But
soundtrack.
it wasn't as like complex as the SOR series.
Yeah, who knows? Some people might argue it was. I don't know. I'm not gonna get into that argument, but like, it was very video gamey of Mario music. You know what I mean? Like everybody would follow what Mario kind of music Mario did. If you played any platformer, they'd have Mario-esque music,
Hmm.
and if you played any beat 'em up, you would hear like guitars and not really think of too much of it. Well, Street of Rage, you got like jazz, you got techno, you got rock, you got everything mixed into it. You got experimental music that will feel like you're on an acid trip.
Oh, what is that? When you had to fight Yamamoto?
Yeah,
I
that has
love
like
that.
ancient like Chinese themes on it,
Oh
or
god.
Japanese. Sorry, should I say?
God, I want to play that game now.
Yep. So that's my number one, and on to your number one,
Oh,
which I can take. Can I guess your number one?
yes, you can guess my number one.
Is it the Silent Hill series?
Oh god, no, Mikael, no, it wasn't. I'm sorry.
Yeah, right.
No, but yes, it is Silent Hill. I just love the soundtrack and love the work what Akira Yamaoka did with it, because like you have your damn section where it's just horror eerie element stuff from the game, where you're walking around, you have this horror eerie, scary sound like to make you like don't want to walk down this corridor. And then once you solve a puzzle, like it's upbeat music, calming music. Like okay, like like literally like the game like for me it focused a lot on like the musical cues. Like okay, this is gonna be a creepy part just on how eerie the music was, and then once you completed it, it's just like a calm thing. It's like okay, I can calm down. Nothing's gonna attack me anymore. I'm just done. I could just walk around with like nothing having to attack me, and then having just like an epic score like Silent Hill 2 with a promise. Such a good song. Like you just know like you're calm, you could slow down, but yet there's still like an ominous tone to it, like in the middle of the song.
Well, that's how I've never trusted a horror game when it's calm music. Never trust a horror game when it's calm music.
See, no, like I don't know, like with this one is like once like you're playing through the level, you have your ominous, eerie, creepy music. But once the moment you solve the puzzle before you go to boss, it's just calm. There's like nothing attacking you. You don't have to worry about the monsters, and there's just like this calm little atmospheric music going on until you reach the boss.
Hmm.
That's how I view it. But like hands down, like this is like my favorite franchise with all the soundtracks. I have the first one, second, the third, the fourth one, Shattered Memories, and Origins right now.
Ooh. I would go. I would say Resident Evil also has a good soundtrack, which was one of my honorable mentions that I wanted to mention, which I just did.
Oh, are we going with honorable mentions now?
Yeah, yeah, some that got taken off our list.
Oh man. So like the first one that I kept switching out with Freedom Wars was Danganronpa.
Interesting,
I
interesting.
love the Danganronpa soundtrack. And
One that I took off was Zombies Ate My
oh,
Neighbors.
how do they forget about Zam?
Right? Isn't that like just crazy? Like I'm a huge Genesis fanboy, as you can tell. Even though that was also on the SNES, but hands down, the Genesis had the better soundtrack.
Yeah. No, 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 no. See, what's also on my honorable mention was the Donkey Kong series soundtracks.
Ooh, yep.
See,
Or the. Sorry,
I was
go ahead.
like, cause it's like, especially when you're underwater, it has like this ominous, calm, like music going on while you're like swimming around trying to get everything, complete the level. And then you have like your upbeat when you're going to Funky Kong or something like that. It's just like the scenery matched the music pretty much in that game.
I would say, I would say the Mario series too. Like that soundtrack at this point, everything from the first couple of games, the first few games, is iconic.
Mhm.
Iconic music. And you just every video gamer knows if you go do 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 do, you're gonna go
Dun, 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 dun.
exactly. You know what it is. Everybody, you go to anybody in probably America, and everybody knows what the hell that theme is.
Yeah.
That is video games right there.
Mm-hmm. Dun, 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 dun,
Or
dun, 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 dun,
exactly.
dun, dun.
Anyways, John, that has been our top 10 combined, as of course, list of our favorite soundtracks. Eventually, I want to do this into a YouTube video of its own, so you don't have to,
Listen to a
you
podcast.
know, not that, eventually, I want you to listen to the podcast, but I want you to, later on, after this podcast is very old, we will do a video so you can watch this anytime you want. And without all this old talking commentary, it'll be much shorter. Much more pequeño, as we might say.
Pequeño.
Much more small.
Oh, okay.
Which makes no sense, which is bad grammar
Yes.
on my point.
Shouldn't it be much more smaller?
But yes, and then also, like I said before, I want to do the top 10 greatest of all time, not our personal opinions.
Oh, like as a critically acclaimed stuff.
Yes.
Ooh, that's gonna be a good one. That's gonna be a lot
But
of
anyways,
research.
John, that has been episode 5 of Podcast Equipped. Of course, you can always follow me, Miguel Zarate, at Twitter,
At Twitter.
Mig underscore, at Twitter. Yeah, you gotta
No,
know
okay.
which website I'm mentioning. You gotta follow me at Twitter with my hashtag, not my hashtag. God damn it. With my handle being at Mig underscore AZ. He's John Valencia. You can follow him on Twitter at Tagless02. And as always, you can find us combined at, I'm sorry, John.
I was like,
you
wait.
have to say youtube.com/Tagless02.
There you go.
And then you can follow us over here where our podcast, where you're listening to this right now,
App.
Equipped Gaming.
Yay.
Remember, we are podcast equipped, and we are out, internets.
We shall see you later. We bid you a farewell.
Bye-bye.